G'day everyone. During this month we had a good weather window of up to around 3 weeks of low swell, good visibility and little winds. This diving footage was part of my kayak spearfishing mission that went on for 3 days. I decided to team up with some local legends. Shout out to Charlie. He was kind enough and patient enough to take me out there, show me the ropes on what to do and what not to do when it comes to kayak fishing, as I've only ever done spearfishing from a tinny or shore dives, but kayak spearfishing is a whole new thing for me. It's pretty good too. I think the key with kayak spearfishing is just getting everything secure and organized. And with the good weather, I was able to shoot fish that I've never seen before and broke some personal records too. It was a good day. Good days, lads. Once we got anchored and all set up, we were greeted by some amazing viz. As you can see here, it was probably around 10 to maybe 15, probably between 10 and 15 meters, and you could see the bottom, even at the deeper parts of the reef. Once we all got set up, we decided to do our own thing, and having said that, it wasn't long until I ran into a nice blue grouper.
Blue grouper. Gah.
Now, in New South Wales, these fish are highly protected and are no take. However, in Queensland, they're perfectly legal to take, and I believe these fish are highly sustainable. I saw a lot of numbers out there. They are no way endangered in Queensland. So I decided to harvest one. I was pretty stoked with this, as this was my first blue grouper that I've ever shot, and it was probably decent size. I didn't measure it, but probably around the 50 to 60 maybe centimeters. But it was a good fish. Went down very well. Super delicious too. Went nice with our beer batter and some chips and some chicken salt. It was a good feed. Once I got the blue grouper on the float line, I decided to patrol more of the reef, and I saw 2 nice sized squid. I didn't get footage of the second shot, but I got footage of the first squid that I shot, and they were actually quite decent size. Squid rings always goes down well, especially when you cook them with fish.
Squid. Gah.
Once I got that squid on the float line, I decided to check up on Charlie and Sunny just to see how they were doing. Once I swam back to them, I saw Charlie. He had shot an absolute dog of a blue grouper. This thing was an absolute keg. Now, it was bigger than the parrotfish that I shot. You'll see later in this video. The parrotfish I shot was like 63 centimeters. This blue grouper was probably around 65 centimeters. Biggest one I have personally seen taken by a spear gun. Look at the size of that! And he was stoked with that. Good on you, Charlie. Oh, the boys are here. The boys had deployed the flasher, and I decided to shoot a yakka and try use that as bait to bring in maybe a school mackerel, a nice sized bonito, or even kingfish. But apparently nothing came in to take a look at the yakka, which was surprising. I believe it's still early into the winter season. However, it did bring the interest of a couple of yakkas and some slammy mackerel, which was absolutely awesome to get on film. I just couldn't get the interest of a nice kingy or a school mackie. However, I can't complain with that. During the span of these 3 days, we had awesome visibility, which is just great to see. I mean, during these last couple of weeks and months, like especially after Cyclone Alfred, it's just been very, very bad. Like, we had constant bad visibility, not ideal conditions. So it was really, really nice. An absolute treat to get out. After a number of unsuccessful attempts to bring in a mackerel or a kingfish, I decided to cut up the yakka and use it as burley, and went back to patrolling for some more nice reef fish.
Javelin fish.
I was like, what are those? And it's like javelin fish.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. You can catch them in the creek. But I heard, yeah, they're actually good eating. They're like barra.
Yeah,
But I was just like, what the hell are those? I'm like, oh my god, there's a javelin.
Javelin fish are actually pretty good eating. They're rated next to barra. Some even say that they're even better. But after stone shotting that javelin, I decided to put it on my float line and head back to the kayak just to take a small break. I was chuffed with this. Taking a break on the kayak was nice. Just sitting in the sun, enjoying the scenery and taking it all in. It was an awesome experience. I was preparing something to eat. I didn't bring any food with me, so I was gonna try a little bit of sashimi of some of the fish I shot. That was until I heard Charlie call us over. He had an octopus and he needed help getting it out.
He's just here.
So I quickly get my fins on and jump off the kayak. Me being a goofball and forgetting my gun, leaving it on the kayak. I'm sorry, Charlie, that was my fault. I rush over to see what I can do to help. By the time I get there, I can see Charlie's recovering from his breath hold. I take a look at the situation, I see the gun on the bottom, and I dive down to inspect. If you can see on here, the octopus is tucked away nicely in there. I try to push the shaft into him to see if I can lodge it in there and drag him out, but I had no success with that.
Did I get the spear in it?
No, it's not in there, man. I tried to lodge it in.
When it's done, you have to kill it in the hole.
Yeah, just...
It had a rock.
Bro, that's the only way. You gotta kill it, otherwise if you grab it once, I'm just gonna go psycho.
No, I already have my hand on it. You can't get it. It sucks it itself. You didn't bring your gun. I'll stab it.
My dive buddy goes down and the octopus does a weird move. Instead of hiding in the cave, it creeps out just as Charlie goes down, and he's able to grab and secure it and get a nice octopus. I have never shot an octopus. Personally, I wouldn't know what to do with one if I did, as I've never cooked or eaten octopus, but I do know that they are good eating if prepared correctly. After that, I decided to swim back to Kayak to rest up a little before getting out there and having another go. That was until Charlie came back with a cracker of a tuskfish. I have never seen these in person. I've only seen them on YouTube videos and on Google Images, but I heard they are one of the best eating fishes you can get here in Queensland.
Nice one, Charlie.
Decided to check on the other dive buddy Sunny to see how he was going, and he got himself a nice red morwong. Personally, one of the biggest ones I've seen here down in Queensland. They don't get that big.
That's a decent size.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Like, they don't get that big here in Queensland.
We get them down south.
I've seen them on...
I need it straight away.
when I watch the Sydney vids, I see them, they get them freaking huge over there. Nice work, man.
Thanks, bro. Happy with that.
Now, on the next clip, I had shot myself one of the biggest parrotfishes I have ever seen. It was a big blue bar parrotfish, a personal best for me. This thing went going up to around 63 centimeters, and unfortunately my GoPro was playing up. I didn't get the footage of it, how I shot it. I was only able to film it after I shot it. I had creeped on the bottom. I saw it in the distance. I knew that if I dive bombed this thing, it would probably swim away and I'd never seen it again. So I swam down to the bottom and decided to creep along this little rocky cave area, and I managed to close the gap on this big blue bar parrotfish. And as soon as I shot it, it took my gun straight into the caves and got my gun line all tangled up. Unfortunately, I was out of breath by the time I tried to reach and grab it, so I swam up. I tried to go back down again to grab it, but I was just knackered. I had to rest on the surface for like a good minute before I could go back down there and secure it. My heart was racing. I was trying my best to calm myself down, let the heart rate slow. My biggest worry was that it would rip off the shaft or a shark would come along and eat it. I have seen sharks here, however on this day there were nowhere to be seen, which was great. Once I was able to recover, I swam back down. I grabbed the parrotfish. I do a very, very risky move here. I put my hands in its gill rakers and hold it very tightly, hoping it wouldn't come off. Once I got it off the shaft, I bear hugged it all the way to the surface, making sure it wouldn't slip off or swim away from me.
Blue bar parrotfish.
With the squid, the blue grouper, the javelin fish, and now this, the parrotfish, I was absolutely chuffed. I decided to swim back to the kayak, put my fish under the kayak storage hatch so that way it wouldn't cook under the sun, and I just decided to chill for a bit there. We had launched the kayaks at around 5 AM, and by the time we were all finished up, it was probably around 3 PM. I was absolutely exhausted. The rest of my dive buddies were also knackered as well. We decided to pack everything up, tie down our equipment, get everything secured for the paddle back in, and yeah, we called it after that. It was a good day.
Oh man, I am munted. I am physically torn, far out. That's it for me. I'm heading back in. It's nearly afternoon.
Now today I decided to include filming the cleaning process that includes scaling and filleting the fish, as well as the squid. Yeah, it's always fun processing the fish. This parrotfish ended up going all the way to 63 centimeters, which is a personal best for me. I was happy with that.
Oh my god!
It was at that point I realized that I should have scaled the fish in the water when I shot it, instead of leaving it in the esky on ice for a day or two. As scaling the parrotfish with these big scales was quite a bit challenging. So I'm gonna skip to the part where all the scales have been removed from the parrotfish. When eating parrotfish, I like to leave the skin on the fillets, as it has a fat texture on the skin that just makes the fillet taste way much better. As you can see here, this parrotfish fillet has a beautiful soft white flesh. Another delicious part of this fish are the wing flaps, which are underneath the gill rakers. I will show when cutting out here. These are another delicious part of the parrotfish. They go nicely, especially when you're grilling them on a barbecue. Oof. Pair that with some Tandigo seasoning and that is delicious.
You should go now. Run. No, I won't leave you here. We can run together. Listen, if we run together, they will shoot us from behind. We both die. So, how's about you here? They will kill you. No, don't worry about me. I will help them. I want you to promise me to survive, to take this message for our country. so beautiful. I am in heaven? Yes.
Next are the squid. Preparing these are actually quite easy. All you gotta do is remove the skin, remove the guts, and peel off the skin, and then you should be left with a tube, and then it's just a matter of cutting them into rings. With the head and the tentacles, you can eat them, but I prefer to use them as bait. When removing the skin off the squid, I normally start off with the flaps, make a little cut underneath the flaps, and you just stick your finger underneath it, and that way you should just be able to peel all the skin off. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention earlier, don't forget to remove the guts inside. After that, you should be left with a clean squid tube. I prefer to cut the squid tube into squid rings. I got all these rings just from one squid. After processing all of that, I was left with a big bunch of delicious seafood that will last me for weeks. After all of that, there was only one thing left to do, and that was to feed the locals. If you sticked around this far into the video, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. If you like this style of content, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.